ah, 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 ah. Alright, let's get after this. And while we at it, let us see. Not just here. Let us see. The gunshot rang out, but the gunshot was a life game. Whoa, what's this? Oh my god. To me, it was a little crazy that it existed in the first place, and then I started messing with it, and I was like, oh, I gotta try some new things, I gotta try some old things. I even showed some friends on Discord. What's that? A lightweight spaceship? It goes parallel. That is not the only thing that moves, that is. Because this down here, well, that was all the way in the bottom right corner. And it also moves. However, it moves parallel to a different complementary angle. That is to say, at a 45 degree. Anyways, that's not quite all I wanted to show. In fact, there's some other little bit. Just a little bit, though. Mostly just want as much space as possible, even though it's not purely necessary. But nonetheless, if you've ever watched Black Mirror, then this might be familiar. In the episode White Bear, it's on the hunter guy's ski mask, and it actually has an end state, and it takes it a while to get there. That is to say, it looks pretty cool. And as it progressed towards that end state, you see there's a glider up and to the left. Oh, actually, you can't see it. Well, there was one. What I'm trying to say is, if you pause, load, and zoom in here with me, there was something I accomplished yesterday. That is to say, tried to accomplish. All these ones up here were the first iterations that I saved. But they weren't perfect. Sometimes while trying to get to the later generations, I realized, oh, I missed a few. Because there's no frame by frame for some reason in this game. There is only play and pause. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Fun little game of life inside the game. Yeah, I mean, it took me long enough to notice because it was only yeah, I don't want it to be saved. It was only in the menu. But nonetheless, I found that pretty cool. So yeah. There's a story in the game, but it's not the only story you can play around with. You know, you can also, quote unquote, waste some time in your life and let the story ring out in its own beautiful and or destructive or harmonious fashion. I must have shut them on instinct. Them probably being the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Also, the smallest oscillators were called blinkers, in case you were curious. So yeah, here we are. I couldn't bear to face the threat in front of me. Some part of me knew the gun was real, and I could sense some crazy malice in this woman too. My eyes were closed, but somehow I could tell that the life was leaving someone's body. But I I was still standing. The gun was smoking, and I could smell the gunpowder from here. She definitely shot someone. That was when I realized the gun's muzzle wasn't aimed at me. No way.
Momo!
I spun around.
What's going on?
Momo was still there, standing where I'd last saw her, completely unharmed, which meant the person the woman had shot was Davide. Blood oozed slowly from a bullet wound in his head. He wasn't breathing. The shot had killed him instantly.
But why?
I was pretty damn sure she was on the Holy Office's side. Did Davide do something that pissed her off that much?
Rosario! It's really you?
Momo jumped joyfully at the woman.
I see you're unharmed, Lucia.
Huh?
I couldn't keep up with the situation.
Hey, is she...
Rosario is one of my associates. She helped me escape from the Vatican.
That explained just about everything. Momo had said some of her friends were killed, but she wasn't sure about others, so it looked like she was one who survived and made it here. There was one thing I still didn't get though.
Are you... an agent?
Yes, at least officially.
She belongs to the Anti-Fate faction, meaning her goal is the same as ours.
I was undercover as a proponent of the End, and used that role to inform my allies about the actions of 513.
She's an Ender woman? Breaking in Tokyo, Mitsubishi Bank declares their systems have been hacked. Repair work in progress. We went outside, letting the CCO clean up the mess at Nakano Broadway. The chaos from the face hack hadn't totally subsided yet, but we'd stopped the root cause, so things would sort themselves out soon. Not sure how loud the music is, but I feel like it could do with going a little bit lower. So yeah. As long as the hackers, the police, and Google fixed their shit, the PIC OS would go back to normal.
Oh?
I already got a message from Cicada 3301. There is a 4chan post too, so it must have been him.
I've completed 2 quests. Surely now he'll... What the hell?
The message was so short, it didn't feel like Cicada wrote it. Hell, it looked like something some kid would send as a joke. Observing. What? Wind sent me an article. So I was in second place now? Yay or nay, Polan most likely to place second in quest rankings, live quest coverage. You're now a hacker, that's second only to Juno, let's go! The quest rankings didn't mean anything though. They had nothing to do with Cicada 3301. I wasn't good enough yet. That's what Cicada himself said. Honestly, I really didn't want to be treated as a hacker. My goals and attitude were completely different from those assholes.
Rosario, what happened to the others?
Momo looked serious, and there was an air of tension around her.
Diego and Almero. Are they okay? They were alive when I fled, but...
No. They were captured and tortured by 513 agents. There was little I could do but put them out of their misery.
Not cool 513 agents.
That's terrible.
Things would have been different if more of us had acted. Too many of the Anti-Fate faction have lost their hope and urge to stand up.
I cannot blame them. The Holy Office 513 are a terrifying force.
Momo sighed, a sullen expression on her face. Rosario gently stroked her back.
For now, we should be thankful we were able to see each other again.
That's true.
I was surprised when I heard you were participating in those quests, though. You've now completed 2 of them. 513 must be dumbfounded.
This is all thanks to Polon and his Nakano Symphonies.
Nagano Symphonies?
It's the name of our team. There's one other guy in it.
I joined them, and we're now working together to save the world.
You have new allies, I see.
I haven't forgotten how much you all helped me back at the Vatican. Actually, it's because of what happened that I've learned to trust others.
You made the right call. Saving the world is too great a task for one person. Polon. Now that I've dealt with Davide, I cannot return to 513. Would you mind if I stayed here and helped with your efforts to protect the world?
You mean...
If you're asking to join the symphonies, you got it. Any friend of Momo's is a friend of mine.
Cross would be for it, too.
Momo. So that's what you're going by.
Yes. I'm Momo Aizaki now.
All right then. Polon, Momo, let's save the world.
Asuma was seated in a chair with his head rested on the desk. A tuning terminal was on the desk too. The cube-like device had been tossed carelessly onto the flat surface. Heavy breathing in Minecraft. It was shortly after midnight. The boy had fallen asleep, and it looked like any other child. I don't know why I said it, excuse me. And it looked like any other child his age, and yet...
I... not...
Dude, wake up inside. He shouted suddenly, waking himself up.
Right. I fell asleep.
Are you okay, Asuma? It looked like you were having a nightmare.
Asuma's expression twisted into one of deep disgust as he realized Ewan was with him.
Why are you here?
You were working late into the night, weren't you? I came to check on you. Passion is all well and good, but only in measured doses. Why not get some rest in your room for once?
If I could rest, I would do so. I don't need you to remind me. Use your head for once, imbecile.
Ewan nodded as he placed a mug down on the desk.
I knew you'd say that. That's why I made this.
What?
It's hot milk with honey and vanilla extract. My grandfather used to make it for me. It has something of a relaxing effect.
Are you done here? Get out. I'm hard at work, as I'm sure you can see.
Very well. I'll see you tomorrow.
Asuma reached for the cube-like device, but after a moment of hesitation, took the mug instead. After drinking about half of the milk, he picked up the terminal and resumed his work. It was early morning, shortly before sunrise, and 2 men stood in a park. One was Oz, the other, Kaoru. Kaoru held in his hand a tablet displaying the name Riku Kaburagi.
I hear that you contributed during the face hack.
I see you're as abreast of events as ever, Mr. Kaburagi.
We're the younger generation of government officials. Information is both our sword and shield. You have my deepest gratitude for saving this country.
The one you should be thanking is Polon Takaoka.
Anyone who contributed even a little deserves recognition.
That's nice and all, but you don't have much time today, do you? Let's get to the point.
That's true. Give me your investigation report.
The first one to hear rumors of Project Gaia being resumed was a young politician currently serving on the ruling cabinet, Riku Kaburagi. An extremely precise Earth simulator could be more dangerous than nuclear weaponry. Some said that one could even spark World War III. With such fears in mind, Kaburagi had discussed the matter with Kaoru and then requested that Oz investigate it further.
The JUSDF suddenly conducted a military drill on Tsushima in March. An unannounced East Asian maritime exercise was then postponed. As you thought, the JUSDF drill was planned using Gaia's predictions. The Ministry scheduled it to prevent an intrusion by East Asian forces. There's also the accidental death of that terrorist before the G7 summit in May. And the capture of a foreign agent during June's joint military exercise with Russia and Kunashiri. Gaia was involved in those too.
So it was all true.
And here's something extra. Last year, a major foreign cyber attack targeted Japan's medical institutions. It turns out the MOD staged that attack to procure extra funding. All that extra cash is going towards operating Gaia.
To think they'd go that far. So that's what they're willing to do, to take back the 50 years Japan lost.
It's tough to make up for lost time within the confines of the law these days. Does the Prime Minister know about this?
Most likely. They're playing it safe, making sure they never leave any evidence. They're being real crafty. I can't help but admire that.
Do you think we can prove that the PM's involved? If we want to turn Gaia off for good, we'll need to attack the source.
During the SFG's operation to capture Lucia, the people involved with Gaia held a few meetings. Those get-togethers helped me narrow down who we're dealing with. Won't be long before we've got the evidence we need.
I see.
I'm gonna be honest here. If we pause it and take a look at Tengen or Oz's lips, I legit can't even tell if they're lips or teeth. Can we acknowledge that, please? Like, what is going on right here? What is this? What is happening? Hello? Dude's chapped.
Look forward to the good news.
No, no, because those are his lips. So those were his teeth? Never mind.
I believe in you, Ozutani. We're going to change the world, and we're going to do it the right way.
Polon! You went crazy on that quest yesterday, didn't you? I heard it was even harder than the high hack one.
Totally insano mode. I love it.
Ugh, I shouldn't have come to Kyoto for the academic meeting.
Whoa, Miss Lid?
I was in deep sleep when an overexcited woman suddenly woke me up.
You made a delayed choice again, didn't you? The loading, I mean. Did you hear anything from that mystery hacker?
I loaded, yeah, but...
Oh, and congrats on getting to second place. It's crazy to think that you're right behind Juno now. You're awesome. Did you fight her yet? She's also a real wizard, isn't she? I still wonder whether people are being literal when they say she's a phantom. I'll follow the next quest as it happens, so promise me you'll work your magic then too. I've got an interview now, though. See ya!
What the hell?
It felt like I'd been caught in a sudden downpour while on a walk. I was now totally awake. And damn, She seemed pretty busy. And on her day off, too. And the news. Pict OS server heavily damaged. Repair work might take several days.
You're finally up.
Cross?
I finally realized that I wasn't in Symphony.
Why are you surprised? You're the one who asked to stay at my place.
Oh, yeah. I let the girls have Symphony.
Yeah, he crashed big time. Absolutely face down. That's my wild guess since he forgot he was even there. The security there was pretty good, so I'd figured it was the safest place for them. And since I didn't have anywhere else to sleep, I went to Cross's place.
You're gonna talk to that Rosario woman about the Holy Office 513, right? Shouldn't we get going?
I checked the time and realized it was already past 10 a.m.
I'll get ready.
When I reached Symphony, both Momo and Rosario looked kinda confused.
Is there a traffic jam? Or maybe it's something to do with the face hack.
Morning. What's up?
Polon and Cross are here. We ordered delivery for breakfast about 2 hours ago, but it's not here yet.
That sucks. Is the place nearby?
Well, Wynn's window says, the truth behind the presidential elections, voter fraud. Who is the mastermind behind corporate America? Dark international news. I don't know if I'm considered an authority on that one. And Wynn's comment is... To keep up with Nakano Symphonies, I'll actively gather news from overseas as well.
Yes, it's a sushi restaurant downtown. I saw a social media post saying they delivered norimaki and miso soup sets by drone until 11. The natto and kanpyo look delicious.
You can eat sushi?
I'm sure I can. I know what it is.
She said something like that before, and she choked on the 7 cup.
We should complain. They advertise 10-minute deliveries, but they've made us wait 2 hours. It's simply unforgivable.
Rosario steeled herself, then used a Bible-like input device to control her BMI.
Is this all the Sushi Nakano branch? I want to speak with your manager. I'm Rosario Rosalini. I made an order 2 hours ago, and it still hasn't come. Such slovenly business deserves divine punishment.
Yeah? Damn, she went hard. I complained myself from time to time, but never like this.
What? Say that again, please?
Sorry, my driver died, I'm guessing. That's my wild guess.
Really? Truly? Honestly? I'm so sorry!
She sure sounded meek retracting her complaint.
What happened?
I forgot to order.
Oh no. Even more awkward, but not more morbid.
Huh?
Seriously?
No wonder nothing got delivered.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. There's still time to order it.
I'll do it right away.
I would totally call another place, but that's just me. Her serious expression, combined with the way she handled her Bible-like device, made her look pretty cool and kinda holy. But that style didn't count for much, considering she was trying to fix a breakfast order she'd messed up.
There.
Thank you.
Would you mind if I took a look at the bill?
You doubt that I ordered successfully? I swear to the Lord that I most certainly did.
Where's this front coming from?
Please, don't get me wrong. I just want to check it.
Very well.
Rosario used her BMI again, grumpily.
What's the problem now?
It's the amount.
No!
If it's not enough, we can just ask for more.
It's not that. She ordered too much.
Well, then we can eat with them.
It's 20 sets.
20?
How do you mess up that bad?
How could I? Can't believe myself.
They're trying to lower your expectation for Rosario, since she started off being the one pointing a gun at him, and then, you know, not him, and then him. Never mind.
I'll call him about it.
Rosario is acting like a sad puppy.
Is she really a badass agent of the church?
Of course. She can be a bit careless outside of missions, though.
A bit.
I changed the order to 2 sets.
Thank you.
Drastic drop in disease-related deaths, likely due to AI-assigned treatments.
I'm terribly sorry for my trespasses. I must seek penance. Is there a church nearby?
It's not that big of a deal. You just be more careful next time, that's all.
Cross is right. It's fine.
Momo patted Rosario's head. I felt like I was watching a little sister taking care of her big sister. It was kind of strange. The Rosario I'd met the day before was a fading memory. At this point, never forgetty. Also, the trading card I was talking about, it said, you know, Holy Office 513 instead of Rosario. I wonder why. Momo and Rosario struggled with the natto, but eventually they finished their breakfast. After that, we got down to business.
I will tell you everything I know. But please be aware that there will be no going back once you've heard it all. Are you sure you want to?
I've been ready for a long time now.
I'll listen too.
Please begin, Rosario.
Very well. The Holy Office 513 dates back to over 100 years ago. It has roots in the secret society known as the Illuminati.
I'm not going to do the hand thing, but just imagine that I did.
At the time, it was only a small group with little influence. But that changed in 1917 with the miracle of Our Lady's appearance and the third secret of Fatima she bestowed upon us. The prophecy of the world's end bolstered their beliefs. They decided to analyze more miracles, such as Our Lady's words and other apparitions. 513 became a real organization. They added details to the original Illuminati fate line to create a more complex series of events.
So that's their origin story.
Their actions grew increasingly extreme over the years, especially once they'd used the Earth simulator to verify the apparitions of Our Lady. In 2013, the Pope resigned from his post while still alive. It was a rare act, and 513 was involved with that too.
I think that's about the same time that Robotics Note was made. Don't know if that matters.
The Pope was already dead. 513 assassinated him since he was anti-fate. The resignation was tendered by a body double.
They killed the Pope? Isn't he like the boss of the whole church? What the hell?
They'll do anything that wouldn't be traced back to them. They're especially proactive about eliminating whoever stands in their way.
That's organization for you.
Rumor has it they were involved in the deaths of well-known individuals, such as Antoni Gaudí and Nikola Tesla.
Gaudí, of Sagrada Familia fame?
Yeah, it goes to show this isn't a Western game, or this game would have been like, Tesla, the guy from...
Yes, its second architect.
And Nikola Tesla is known for his work on alternating current.
Damn.
Those are the kind of people you see in textbooks. Apparently, the Holy Office's influence went way beyond the Vatican.
The Anti-Fate faction faced its gravest ordeal in 2026.
What happened?
Yeah, what will happen?
Back then, the faction was led by Pietro Bertone, the Cardinal Kent Korihisa trusted more than any other. Ever since Kent Korihisa escaped in 2012, Pietro had sent him information about 513's actions and the situation at the Vatican.
He must have been a real pillar of the faction.
Indeed. He was a great man, but he was asked to deliver a speech during the Sagrada Familia completion ceremony. And when he approached the altar, an agent assassinated him.
I'm guessing this is supposed to be Rosario's BMI being pulled up on Takaoka's, considering we're from his perspective. So, like, shouldn't the little swoosh there, right to the right of Alloy, be like a yellow color, in theory?
The ceremony was streamed worldwide. People all over the world witnessed the moment of his death.
I remember seeing that.
Okay, or maybe he knew what she was talking about and looked it up.
Yeah, me too.
I was a child back then, so I didn't get how important that was. But footage of the man burning was all over the internet, so you couldn't avoid it if you tried. Man, that wasn't even an assassination. They'd burned him alive in broad daylight in front of a crowd, and on record.
What happened to the Anti-Fate faction after Cardinal Bertone's death?
They were shut out from the centers of authority at the Vatican and lost the power to resist 513. Since then, 513 has had complete control over the Vatican. The current pope is more of a figurehead than anything.
You ever wonder if figures of speech are actually figureheads? Like, they create heuristics in your brain that are essentially detours around, like, what is actually, like, potential or kinetic or whatever, you know? Whatever the case. Another way of putting that would be, what's up or down, I guess. What's in path or what's empath? I don't know. Momo had said that the Holy Office 513 were a secret group pulling the strings of Catholicism, and it seemed like she was telling the truth. I'd fought one of their agents just yesterday. I didn't have the luxury to doubt anymore. A crazy, powerful group that wanted the world to end. That's who we were up against. Or else there would be a story involved, right?
Pietro was my father.
Huh?
That came out of nowhere.
The cardinal they killed?
My foster father, to be precise. I was an abandoned child, and he took me in as his own. I was only 11 when he died, and I didn't know anything about what had happened. That's why I sought the truth. After I searched my father's study and talked to his friends, I learned about 513.
And swore revenge. Sorry, that's her words, not mine.
From then on, I spent years training my body and studying to be an assassin. I was appointed as an agent 2 years ago.
So you were Anti-Fate from the get-go?
Yes. I did everything I could to deliver unto 513 the punishment they deserve. Though, I wasn't even bestowed a sacrament. All I could do was gather information about the agents I was paired with.
Her smile seemed self-deprecating.
I owe everything to you, Rosario. If I hadn't met you, I'd still be in...
Momo. Indeed. Saving you is something I can be truly proud of.
So Rosario's one of the people who helped you make it to Japan, huh?
Momo nodded gently.
Momo?
There's something I haven't mentioned yet.
Huh?
After she told us about the fate of her buddies, I felt like I knew everything. But it looked like there was more.
Before I came to Japan, I was part of the Holy Office 513.
You were an agent too?
No, not like that. I was created by them.
What do you mean?
It was in early 2035. The Holy Office used their Earth simulator to recreate the 3 children of Fatima: Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. They took that data and transplanted it into 3 artificial brains. One of them, artificial brain Lucia, was me.
Huh?
Momo was an artificial brain? Data from an Earth simulator? So maybe Wind was right. Maybe VFF, to some extent, could describe Momo, Lucia, whatever. None of that made sense.
But you're right here, just like us. You're not an artificial brain.
I was told that I suddenly grew a body, that I had incarnated, several weeks ago.
Yeah, they gave her a severe case of last Thursdayism.
Rosario, do you have the recordings?
Here. Initially, this case only contained an artificial brain. One day, someone heard crying coming from inside it. And when they opened it up, they found Momo.
No way.
Is that the kind of thing I screenshot, though? No, it isn't. An artificial organ became a person.
Not a single person of the Holy Office knows what caused it. Of course, neither do I. All we can ascertain is that transplanting data into the brains greatly increased the world's entropy. The world strayed from the fate line when they did that. And this is what caused the sad mourning.
What? What?
I was at a loss for words. The cause of the sad mourning still wasn't clear. There must have been some major mistake that everyone overlooked. That was the official explanation. But in reality, it was rooted in Momo's origin. The Holy Office recreated Momo and the other kids for whatever fucking reason, and my dad died because of that.
No, I'm sorry.
I remembered how she'd apologized back at the Shinjuku crater. That explained it. It was because she knew the actual cause.
I'm so sorry, Colon.
It's not your fault. It's the goddamn Holy Office that's responsible.
I didn't know what they were planning, but I did know that Momo had no business feeling guilty about it. And I also knew she didn't have to apologize to me.
They wanted their factors.
Huh? What are you talking about? What's a factor?
513 thought that there's a reason certain people are exposed to, or chosen by, miracles like the apparitions of Our Lady. That these individuals have a special, inherent quality, a factor. And if it granted total control over such miracles, such power would be invaluable in their defense at the end. That's why they resurrected the children of Fatima, children whose brains they reasoned would contain factors.
Okay. So, like, in my brain, the way this works is if there's a person who realizes something, it's most likely within the minutia of an irrational number, right? However, if they realize it to an extent to which it seems like it's fact to them, a la factor, then it has a metaphorical period, right? So it's like instead of being an irrational number, it's a whole like number with, you know, .00, when in reality that could be perceived as a decimal, indicating that yes, you are at a finite, or at least closer to finite, like, value. So like what I'm saying could be completely wrong, and I could just be perceiving within the minutiae of an irrational number, or like I could be really, 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 really far from the truth, but still be factual about that. Therefore, like, I'm coming to a realization that to me is a period, because my perception of time goes from past to future. But in reality, like, my consciousness could be perceiving something from future to past, and I'm coming to a realization that comes out of the irrational numbers and into the whole finite numbers, and therefore, like, since I'm like wrong and incorrect, then that number would be like, you know, 0.1 with a string of irrational numbers after it. Or I could be right, 0.9, you know. Back to the game, enough of me. That's why they resurrected the children of Fatima, children whose brains, they reasoned, would contain factors.
You should listen
that's
too.
Why
I was listening to my press Z on
artificial
accident.
brains.
Do these factor things actually exist?
The agent's sacraments are all the proof you need.
Wait, so those are real miracles?
Davide's power. So that's why.
Well, that explained why I couldn't figure out how his pyro shit worked.
What happened to the other two? There are 3 children of Fatima, right?
Well,
Francisco and Jacinta's artificial brains failed to incarnate, and they died.
their remains were disposed of. 513 tried to obtain factors again, but they switched from artificial brains to IC chips to prevent the world's entropy from increasing. You saw the result of the IC chip processing with Davide's sacrament. Their new method seems far less effective than the original one, though.
I could tell from Momo's expression, and the way she was breathing, that it wasn't easy for her to hear this stuff. I didn't know if people recreated in Earth simulators were technically living beings, but I had no doubt that this girl right here was alive.
I was blessed that I met Rosario and the people of the Anti-Fate faction after I became incarnate. If I hadn't escaped that place, I would have abandoned my mission as Lucia.
Momo, you remember meeting Mary, don't you?
Yes, like it was yesterday.
When Momo said she wanted to save the world, I didn't know what to think, but I understand now. It's no wonder she was so determined. She actually remembered meeting the Mother of Christ and hearing her prophecies. Momo wasn't the original Lucia, but the memories she'd inherited were real.
The Deliberators were tasked to attend to Momo after her incarnation. I was appointed as one of such agents, and I gained the opportunity to talk to her directly. At first, Momo was frightened.
I'm gonna be honest, this seems a lot less awkward. Crazy what clothes can do.
She wouldn't let anyone get close to her, saying she was cursed. But after I confessed to her that I opposed the end, she opened up to me. She said she wanted to save the world. It completely contradicted 513's goal. You can't imagine my shock when I heard that. 513 accepted the third secret of Fatima as their dogma and sought the end, while the one who received that prophecy wished to avert it. I believed my meeting with Momo was fated, so I provided her with all manner of information, despite her fear of being cursed.
Rosario was quite pushy, but I'm grateful for that now. She helped me make sense of the situation. And that was when I learned about Kent Korihisa from her. Hearing about his past and what he'd done, my instinct told me that meeting him would be crucial to saving the world.
The Anti-Fate faction took a great risk helping Momo escape. Many lives were lost, but I now know that they didn't die in vain. Momo met you, and as a result, she is getting ever closer to Kent Korihisa.
Rosario wasn't putting up a front. She believed all of this from the bottom of her heart. The bright smile on her face was proof of that. After our chat, we wasted no time getting to work. We wanted to find a way to reach Kent Korihisa that was separate from his quest, but there were things we had to do first. Improving security to prevent the Holy Office 513 from tracking us, and coming up with a countermeasure against their sacraments. According to Rosario, they used surveillance cameras and satellite imagery to analyze Momo's actions for their Earth simulators' predictions. And the news says Chinese track cycling robot Natak wins against human for the first time ever. Apparently, Momo didn't exist in a simulator because of her incarnation. So they had to gather her fresh data in order to simulate her. Its accuracy was still pretty low, though. They lost Momo multiple times during FaceHack, and in the end, they completely lost track of her. But that didn't mean we could relax, so we decided to beef up our security and keep our movements from being tracked. Rosario and Cross would mess with their surveillance by doing things like deleting traces of Momo and planting fake ones. As for Momo and I, we'd come to Oz's office to find a way to deal with the sacraments. First things first, though.
The door's locked.
Momo was standing in front of the door on the first floor, confused. We'd come here once during the high hack, but that was before I'd loaded.
No-No's workshop is on the second floor. Go up those stairs.
Mom, you want some cocoa? How about a marshmallow on top? Oh, there's corn soup too!
I'm trying to remember which one was. Oh god. Oh yeah, corn soup. That's what Akiho. No, other one. Can't remember his name. Driving me crazy. Well, that is to say, in Robotics Note, in Frau's house, the protagonist, can't remember his name. It's a K name for sure. But yeah, he, got her some corn soup to warm her up because she was dying of cold or vice versa, whatever. Corn soup.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
No, Buffalo! You're the hero who put out the fire at Hota!
I didn't do it alone.
You're not saying no to my cup of cocoa!
Robotic arms jumped out from under Nonon's shirt, then reached into the cupboard and took out a mug and a can of cocoa. The arms poured the cocoa into the mug, then added hot water, stirred it up with a spoon, and dropped a marshmallow on top. Human hands would struggle to prepare a mug of cocoa with their precision.
Connie and cocoa with the bear-marked marshmallow on top. It's my bestest combo.
Wow. Thank you.
Do you want something to drink too, Polly?
Got anything carbonated?
I got enough fizzy to make you dizzy.
One of the arms reached into the fridge, took out a 7-Cup, and handed it to me.
Nice.
There's nothing like 7-Cup.
So, what did you want?
We want you to make a gadget we can use against the agents. They use these things called sacraments, and I'll send you the details.
I shared with her a recording of Rosario talking about the sacraments. I opened the file myself, too, to refresh my memory.
People who have witnessed Marian apparitions or similar miracles are known as contactees.
I'm pretty sure this is the first I am seeing of this, so I guess maybe he was zoning out or recording, and therefore we weren't privy to it or whatever. People who have witnessed Marian apparitions or similar miracles are known as contactees.
Momo is one of them. 513 have considered these contactees a threat, as some choose to oppose them using the power of the miracles they received. That's one of the reasons they wanted factors for themselves. Almost nothing is known about factors or how they work. But by incorporating them into Kent Korihisa's QCDC, Necro Pilgrimage, 513 gained access to powers akin to true miracles, which they now refer to as sacraments.
What do you mean by incorporating?
Establishing physical connections, using things like electric cables. Special changes seem to happen when outputs are processed through factors, but the principle behind it is a mystery.
So that's why I was connected to those machines.
Agents can activate their sacraments by accessing Necro Pilgrimage remotely. The powers they receive depend on the agent, and sometimes no powers manifest at all.
I don't know how long that's been going on. Sorry if my alarm's just been blaring. I don't know for sure. The powers they receive depend on the agent, and sometimes no powers manifest at all.
Post-incarnation, Momo's factor was so potent that the sacraments had become significantly more powerful. Only 2 icy chips are left now. They're still a very real threat, but luckily for us, they can't match the power of the artificial brains.
Sacraments were a combination of miracle and technology. Fighting miracles sounded tough, but technology was a different story.
She said they need to access the computer to use their powers. Does that mean they need internet access?
Yeah.
So we just need to cause a little electromagnetic interference.
Call me crazy, but that was a very abrupt yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's not that much of a problem.
Stimulating frog legs with salts isn't on the internet, right? Metaphorically. Literally? Whatever. Well, I'm glad it's not that much of a problem.
Necro would be the bestest, though.
Yeah, but that's out of the question for us.
Kent Korihise used to be the head computer engineer at the Vatican. You'd have to be a better hacker than him to break in there.
I guess our interference strategy isn't too reliable either, though.
The agents were probably aware of their weaknesses, so they'd probably realize if we tried something using EMI. Electromagnetic interference instead of brain-machine interface. Acronyms can get kind of... what's the word? Gunky? Maybe junky, I don't know.
It's gonna be hard to concentrate if you're gonna keep being all negative about the plan.
Oh, sorry. I'll make it up to you by...
If they're your gadgets, no, I'm sure they'll work wonderfully.
Huh? You think so?
Of course.
She's right. No one in the world is better at this than you. You're our girl genius.
And you're really cute, too.
If you can see my cogs moving, then I'm sorry. And resilient, too. There we go.
Alright, you can count on me. The cutest, geniusest girl in the world. I'll make you the specialist gadget you've ever seen. Get excited!
After our talk with Nono, we went up to the rooftop. Oz was there, and he seemed to be building something.
What are you doing? That's a telescope, right?
I'm getting ready to stargaze.
I didn't think he'd be into that kind of thing. Protests all over USA demand disposal of US-Japan's joint Space Guard system. Many fear second sad morning.
You like the stars?
Yeah, not just the stars, though. I like everything about the universe.
That's wonderful.
Oz stopped working, charmed by Momo's comment.
So what do you want?
I need your wisdom. I want to know who I am.
I take all kinds of jobs, but, I can't help you with your philosophical problems.
Quitter talk, right?
This isn't philosophical. I think it's more biological. I don't need
Wrong.
a clear answer either.
Sorry, I'm talking to
A
myself.
hint alone would make me happy.
I believe it is very possibly biological. She doesn't need a clear answer either. A hint alone would make her happy. The Holy Office 513 had used Momo for her factor, but she only found that out this morning from Rosario's explanation. Knowing that had given her an idea. She thought knowing about herself could be a good tactic against the Holy Office. She could use her factor and her origin against them. I was the one who suggested she talk to Oz and Miss Lid about it. They told me some interesting stuff about my saving and loading, so I figured they could help Momo too.
Come on, Oz. It's important.
You owe me one for this.
Sure. Miss Lid, join us for a sec.
I mean, I don't mind, but...
She busy? I shared my vision with Miss Lid and encouraged Momo to open up.
I was born under unthinkable circumstances. Honestly, I sometimes want to turn my back on it all and forget about how I came to be. But I feel as if I need to know why it all happened and who I am.
Momo explained to Oz what she'd told us this morning. How she was one of the children of Fatima, created in an Earth sim and transplanted into an artificial brain so her factor could be used. And then she talked about how all of this caused the sad morning, and the way she'd incarnated and gained a body several weeks ago.
And the saving and loading was amazing. But this is quite extraordinary, too.
Is there anything you can tell me about this?
The world line might have changed.
World line?
I was wondering if it to me, it'd be crazy if Karisu showed up, but at the same time, I don't expect any previous science adventure characters to show up in, you know, a new one, except Dash, I suppose, since, like, Robotics Note Dash has, like, Baru Super Hacker in the title, if you know what Dash stands for in the science adventure series. World line?
You said that an increase in entropy interfered with the fate line and led to the sad morning, right? That line of phrasing had me thinking about world lines and how they diverge.
You're saying that a world line where the sad morning didn't happen was overwritten by one where it did?
Yes, the concepts of fate lines and world lines may well be intertwined.
A la thread. Rope? Momo was struggling to follow the conversation. She didn't know about world lines.
World lines are basically what-if worlds. Some events trigger changes across both the past and future, changing the world to a different what-if world. Our memories change too. Apparently, only people with a certain something are able to notice the changes.
In this scenario, the cause of the world line change was the increase in entropy.
I feel like anytime you're trying to explain something, world lines are created. Even if they are very, very thin, even like atoms thin or whatever. or something less physical, but still small, tiny. In this scenario, the cause of the world line change was the increase in entropy.
But didn't you say it's got something to do with time travel?
They said last time that my loading and changing the past was reconstructing the world or something.
You don't need time travel to change world lines.
Really?
The world line has a predetermined path. But if you resist it, if you can change that path, the world is reconstructed. Basically, even an increase in entropy would be enough to change it in real time, as long as that increase was substantial enough.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick pause just because the way my brain's working, I don't think I'll pay attention to this kind of stuff otherwise. So yeah, I currently have a strange interface on the YouTube studio where there's a blip saying that I've had a viewer, but you know, concurrent viewers and all that stuff. Like it's not there, and that's cool. I don't mind it. I do this for myself mostly, not in a selfish way, I'd like to think, but in a selfless way, hopefully. That being said, part of me wonders, because I can only have one instance of this, how different it could be if there were many, many, many. So let's do something like this. Let's zoom out, you know, go to the corners, because that's how my brain works, you know. Don't want to do it all in the origin, because that could be bad, I guess. And based on how this works, I might change it. So let's just say, got a white bear there, and because that's the only symbol outside of like Minecraft, I guess, that I recognize in this structure, this grid formation. I mean, sure, there's other things like maybe like brand symbols or something like that, but I just want to see if it's possible to make something larger happen. And yeah, I do believe that it's most likely only like gliders and stuff like that that can make something on such a large scale happen. And like, I realize now after saying something like that, it makes me feel like the viewership is what I'm talking about, but I just mean inside this little simulation going on here, this life game. Because, you know, life's not a game, and whenever you act like it is, people get pretty upset about it, I feel like, unless I'm mistaken. Let's just put one in the middle just to see. Of course, that is going to be kind of tough to do from this perspective. Also, you can use the cursor too. It just makes me uncomfortable because I haven't done it yet. I haven't gotten used to this yet. This entire thing. Okay, so I know I'm not in the very center, but let's just try it again. Okay, so I've put one in the very center, put one in the corners, and if I just play it, you know, that one blows up there in the middle, but the ones in the corners can't take those same shapes because they are next to what could be considered world line grids, like maybe a road on a, you know, or something cutting through a field. Like, because I think the white bear symbol kind of explodes upwards a bit, so those ones stop, whereas these ones die. Huh, yeah, seems like those ones died. Can't even zoom into this one, or can't see it, I should say. Yeah. I don't remember exactly if I've done this before. Oh, yeah, well, there you have it. I don't know much about the style of this, but I haven't saved it, so in theory, if I'm correct about this, I can do this. And hopefully... lightweight spaceship? Yeah, cool. Okay, so I don't have to feel bad about that. Anyways. That was mostly just because I wanted to get out of the visual novel, I suppose. Or maybe I wanted to get into the life game. I don't know. Nonetheless. Here we are again. YouTube Studio and OBS instead of purely life game. And to refresh, you don't need time travel to change world lines. Really? The world line has a predetermined path, but if you resist it, if you can change that path, the world is reconstructed. Basically, even an increase in entropy would be enough to change it in real time, as long as that increase was substantial enough.
So that's how world line changes work.
Wait, you gotta talk about Momo. That's what we came here for.
World lines and their connection to the sad morning were interesting to hear about, but Momo's origins were more important.
A factor that lets you create miracles, huh? Interesting idea. Earth simulators can probably recreate something like that too. Can't much say I believe she made herself a body, though.
You don't believe her? She showed you a video.
It doesn't show the time she incarnated or anything. And we live in an age of fake videos. Doesn't seem like proof to me. That's why I got two hypotheses. Either the girl had memories from the simulated Lucia transplanted into her hippocampus, or she's possessed by Lucia's ghost.
Her ghost? You're getting way too occult there, dude.
Maybe asking a Mumu reader about this was a mistake.
Your idea does make sense, but it doesn't quite align with my situation.
Momo, don't take him too seriously.
Huh? But...
What do you think, Miss Lid?
Honestly, the incarnation doesn't seem realistic. Artificial organ research is progressing, but the best we can do is grow individual parts. We are years away from creating a whole person.
Really? Not even you believe it?
Though I can only deduce based on tech that's been revealed to the public. It's possible the Holy Office is hiding more advanced technology.
But see, I didn't perceive it as being they grew her body and put the Lucia mind inside. I had the intuition that they grew the brain of Momo, Lucia, whatever. They grew a brain, they put the information in there, and then the brain grew the body. That's just me.
Momo may in fact be an artificial life that was born in their Earth simulator, and whose incarnation was enabled by their technology.
That reminds me of Earth simulator development.
Oz had told me that the development of Earth simulators was forbidden, but everyone was still making the behind the scenes. And apparently, the Gaia Institute was one of the places building one.
Do you think that Earth simulators can create life?
The entire human genome was sequenced in 2003. If you put that into an Earth simulator, you could probably make a person.
So you consider people of the material world and those of the digital world to be the same?
Do you know about the Amadeus system?
I played Steins Gate Zero.
What's that?
It's basically an AI system that real people's memories can be transplanted into.
All I'm saying is, the more you know, the more you are aware of your ignorance. To a limit. But it's probably inconceivable. Inconceivable!
Its technology can treat cognitive impairments, but the AIs it creates are amazing. They behave just like the people whose memories were used.
I'm guessing she would know because she knew Kurisu?
You need to see them to believe it. But it's almost impossible to tell whether the Amadeus versions of people are material or digital. The only difference is the lack of body.
Damn, it's that realistic?
So you think Amadeus is a living being?
John von Neumann had an idea for how to define life. It goes roughly like this.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Life must have the ability to self-replicate. He even proved it by creating a program that self-replicated. It's the cellular automaton that's famous in the Game of Life and whatnot.
Game of Life?
Momoa reached into her pocket and took out a small device. It was the one Nono had given her at the welcome party. It had a version of the Game of Life called Life Game installed on it.
Von Neumann proposed that there is no spirit, life force, nor some divine power behind self-replicating programs. If we extrapolate from his theory, then things born from data are life too. It's not like we have a way to prove they're alive, though. Unlike material life, they don't have beating hearts. If you really did incarnate, we might be able to prove that digital beings can have life too.
I see.
So, depending on the definition you went by, even digital things could be considered life. According to that Newman guy, anyway.
We might manage to solve the Ship of Theseus paradox at the same time.
Oh, I kind of know that one. That has to do with the... Let me turn this down slightly. Ship of Theseus is the conception of... You start with a completely constructed ship, and then you, board by board, take pieces of this wooden ship apart to start making a new ship, and, you know, you do it in such a way that it's, like, consistent, you know, and so, like, there's a point where both ships are, like, basically half of the same ship originally, and the question is, at what point does, you know, ship B substantially become what ship A once was, essentially? I guess. I don't know if that's, like, eloquent or whatever, but nonetheless, here we are.
Huh?
Oh, God. I was just about to ask her about the paradox version. Oh, God, Tengen, are you okay? I noticed Oz was breathing heavily. He was all pale, and his body was trembling. He looked like he'd seen some kind of terrifying monster.
Life is a physical wonder, not some data or figment of imagination.
I feel like everyone around him is, like, messing with his sense of self.
Hey, are you okay?
Advanced science, my ass. That participatory universe theory is total bullshit.
Is he having like a panic attack?
I'm alive. I exist in this material world. My passion for space, the fear I felt, it's all right here.
Space? Fear? What's he saying?
Tengen used to be an astronaut.
For real? I thought he was a detective.
You're not entirely wrong. He was the first officer ever assigned to work on a space station. But during one spacewalk.
Oh, he was a detective first, and then he was the first ever detective officer to work on a space station? Or he was the first ever space station detective? Or also saying is, I'm pretty sure space station work is a little bit older than Oz's life, in theory.
He was thrown out into space, and nobody came to help him.
Dude, these are valid sounds, no matter how cringy you think they are. They came from somebody's voice, right? Oh, it's a 1997 thing, older than me. Which, in theory, would make him in the year of our Lord. Anonymous Code 2037, or whatever it is. That'd make him, yeah, like 40 years old. Wild. On June 25th, 1997, during a manual docking test, the Progress M34 unmanned cargo spaceship collided with Mir Spectre module, causing depressurization and a subsequent sealing. Closing the hatch required the crew to disconnect the energy cables, leaving them short on power. Though they were able to restore power after 3 spacewalks, they were unable to pinpoint the air leak on the Spectre module, rendering it unusable.
It didn't make mainstream news?
If people thought space was dangerous, research would stagnate, wouldn't it? Multiple countries worked together to bury the story.
Holy shit.
So what I'm gaining from that concept, which I think is a very significant one, is that at some point technology and progress will eclipse the fear of space travel, and that is within like people who are perceiving this as lifespan from my perspective. That being said, I might be optimistic in saying so.
That's just awful.
It really is. Drifting around in space is unimaginably scary.
Yeah, have you ever watched Gravity with Sandra Bullock?
You're in a vacuum with metal from discarded satellites and spaceships, shooting past at high speeds. There's death everywhere you look. Tengen took shelter inside a small rescue pod he was connected to. But once he got inside, he didn't come back out for 14 years.
What?
He used the pod's cold sleep function before he went insane.
How did he make it home?
A private company found him by chance and saved him. Imagine how unlikely it was that they'd encounter him in the vast expanse.
Okay,
The odds were astronomically low.
Okay, but can we know what the company was called?
I may be a mathematician, but I know a miracle when I see one.
I just got off his voice, I'm sorry. You know?
Tengen, are you feeling better?
He didn't respond. Instead, he looked up at the sky.
My yearning for space. The pain. The experience that made every inch of my body shudder. It made me who I am. I'm right here. What I witnessed wasn't some damn illusion. This sky, that universe, it's my everything.
Dude, call me crazy, but he is absolutely pronouncing the G's in his words, but the subtext is saying he's not. It's my everything. He fell silent, and we decided to stop there. We hadn't learned much about Momo, but I wasn't expecting many answers going in. I looked at Momo to my side. She didn't seem too disappointed.
If I'm an artificial life, is there some way I can take advantage of that?
People say artificial. I know there's multiple root words in there, but for me, because I use Microsoft Paint and stuff like that, I think about the word art. But official is also there, you know. Yeah, there's multiple different types of official, right? You know, superficial probably is the only one that comes to my mind. But that's just because that's the world I've grown up in or lived in or whatever. But I'm just saying, you know, if things that are artificial aren't born from, like, passion, then all my work has been for naught, because I've put lots of passion into it, I'd like to think. It feels like work when you're doing it, but that doesn't mean that you can't take something positive out of it being done. Like, I didn't like playing sports, but I liked being the guy who played sports, you know what I'm saying? Is there some way I can take advantage of that?
Like stopping an Agent Sacrament or interfering with an Earth simulator. Something along those lines. It's just an idea I had. I haven't thought of anything specific yet.
Even if Momo had been born inside an Earth simulator, she was just a normal girl now. But maybe she could find a way to use her factor. Still,
I think it's great that you're coming up with ideas, but even if you were created artificially, you're still a person, just like us. So don't throw away your life, alright?
I said that because I had a bad feeling. I felt like Momo was planning to do something crazy.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Like Carolina, am I right? I don't know if you can hear her or not. She'd be barking.
You're welcome.
Her response was kind of off, but she was smiling, and that was good enough for me. I didn't say anything else.
Are you Cicada 3301 on Discoded? Sorry, we use your IP address to locate and contact you. If you're the real Cicada, I'd like to meet you in person. I'm looking for a way to save the world, and... Wait! Don't hang up!
Another fake?
I don't know. I'll try calling them again.
After we'd gotten Nono to build the anti-sacrament device and spoken to Oz and Liddy about artificial life, Momo resumed her search for Kent Kurihise. She was working on that every day, from early morning until late evening. I admired how dedicated she was. We weren't making any progress, but damn, it wasn't for lack of effort. I was helping her, of course, while...
I planted fake traces all over Chiba. I'll leave some more in Ibaraki next.
I'll drop some around Yamanashi.
Several days passed like this, with Rosaria and Cross either working on our security or helping Nono with her work. The problems the face hack had caused were gradually being resolved. Progress varied, depending on the company and country, though. I heard the IRL accidents were taking longer to deal with than the online ones. Google announces restoration of their PictOS server in the news. But the situation had recovered to the point where you could actually say things were peaceful.
Hey, you free?
Huh? Oz?
We hadn't talked since that discussion about artificial life.
Are you well?
Don't worry, that was an irregular attack.
Who is Oz?
An associate of ours.
Again, you free?
I'm kind of busy, but I guess I can hear you out.
I got a job for you. We need someone to set up the AR show for a live concert. I want you to build the system.
Oh, a live concert. I know those.
I didn't think you provided services like that. When's the deadline?
Friday, this week.
Friday? What day do you think it is?
Monday.
Are you insane? I can't build an AR system that fast. Sorry, but go ask someone else.
Seriously, I didn't even have any experience with that stuff. There was no way I could finish in time.
The request comes from the CCO.
Huh?
It's for Bombi and Co.
Why?
I think we all know.
Oh, perhaps it's for the Cyberforce dolls?
Boom. Okay, maybe we all don't know.
Yeah, the three of them are gonna do a mini concert.
Or we don't all know.
They figured AR would spice up their disaster prevention event and get people to show up. Karu's desperate. If you do this, he'll owe you.
A time limit, though.
You owe me from the thing with the little lady, right? Time to repay the favor.
Damn it.
Well, whatever. It couldn't hurt to get on the CCO's good side anyway. It really was too much for me to handle by myself, though. And since Cross and Rosario had security to take care of...
Momo, help me out.
Huh? Huh? May
I didn't go for her just because she was the only decent choice. She looked like she was interested in all this.
Let's rush in without thinking of the consequences.
Wait. Our goal is to save the world. We cannot simply abandon our search for Kent Korihisa.
We'll see him as long as we do the quests, won't we?
That's no reason to stop the search.
Saving the world is just one of Nakano Symphony's goals. Also, the search for Kent Korihisa isn't really going anywhere. I think I'd rather help someone than continue with that.
Call me crazy, but I feel like the fact that Rosario is now part of the crew is kind of like representation of the fact that people could be missing out on the themes that Cross's name brings to the table, like from the very start. Granted, I guess Cross wasn't there at the very, very start, but... Search for Kent Korihisa isn't really going anywhere. I think I'd rather help someone than continue with
I'll
that.
still look for him whenever I can, though.
And if the quest starts, we'll drop the job. That good with you, Oz?
Of course. If a quest starts, not even the CCO will care what happens with their concert.
Very well. I will abide by your methods.
Anyway, go here. The Cyberforce dolls are doing an inspection.
On Christmas?
Talk to them and ask what needs doing.
Okay. Oh, and put in a good word for me with Mr. Semezu.
Sure thing. Try not to disappoint him.
I'm thinking that's a good place to stop, personally. Call to adventure and all that. Yep. Seems good to me. And there you have it. That's it for today. Alright. Don't know when I'll be back, but doesn't seem to matter. If you like the VOD, watch the next one, you know what I'm saying? Bye-bye.